Hey everybody, it's Carey Peters here, live with you on my phone. I just got to get this fixed here. Hi, it's Tuesday tip time, and we're live. And today I want to talk about how to feel more beautiful than ever, even if you're rocking a few more libs than you want to rock. How do I know about this? Because I just had a baby, and by just I mean actually like 15 months ago. So that's not just had a baby, that's 15 months ago, but for those of you who had a baby, you're like, oh yeah, you just had a baby. I remember when I first was pregnant, my trainer said to me, oh, I'm going to tell you, it's going to take about a year to recover after the pregnancy, and it might take 3 years. And I remember thinking, so you mean like a month? It'll take a month or two? Little did I know. Hi everybody. Hi everyone who's on. Thank you for the compliments. So you may not have just had a baby, but you may have more flesh on you. You may have more pounds that you're rocking than you want to rock. And when you're in the field of health and when you're a health coach, that can feel challenging. Like, well, but I'm supposed to be representing health. I'm supposed to be, looking amazing. I'm supposed to feel, I'm supposed to be the epitome of health. And so I just want to say that, there are times when you're going to, first of all, things change throughout your life, whether you're having babies or not having babies, whether you're going through a difficult time or not going through a difficult time. For women, hormonal shifts and changes. There are stressful times at work. There are stressful times at home. Everything shifts and changes. Thank you everyone for the lovely compliments. Hi, welcome to Tuesday Tips. And where we're talking about being beautiful no matter what. And one of the things that we teach in the Become a Health Coach training, and this is something that I really feel like I've gotten the opportunity to learn totally brand new, in a whole different way, and that being beautiful is a decision to make, and that every woman has her own brand of beauty. And if we go there and embrace it and highlight it, then we can feel beautiful no matter what our size. That beauty's an inside job, basically. So it's incredibly important to do the things and wear the things that make you feel fabulous, no matter what your weight is. And certainly, we're all on a journey to eat healthier and have a healthier lifestyle, and we're all doing that. We're working on it. We're works in progress, right? But in the meantime, what can you do if you're not there yet in terms of the way you want your body to look? What can you do? So this has been a particularly unusual challenge. I mean, again, at people who have babies, first of all, if you're a woman and you've never had a baby, but you want to, and you're listening to me, all I can say to you is probably what any other mother would say to you, which is take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt, because every woman's experience with getting pregnant, being pregnant, having a baby, after the baby, it's all different. Most people experience things differently. People's bodies are different, et cetera, et cetera. I have had just a really challenging time. From the pregnancy on, this was a pregnancy at 40 years old that I didn't expect and was shocked and just didn't quite know what to do with, and being faced with the knowledge that, like, oh my gosh, everything's going to change, and to simultaneously be in front of thousands of people representing health coaching, that felt like a lot of pressure, and it sometimes still feels like a lot of pressure. And then on top of it, for those of you who may have followed us or know me, I may have shared with you that I had some pretty severe postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety that is still kind of making its way out. I kind of feel like I'm hitting a turning point, but just recently. And there are many of you that may have had this experience as well. So that's another layer of challenge and another layer of complexity when it comes to recovering from pregnancy, certainly. So, one of the things that concerned me when I got pregnant was like, okay, my body's going to change. There's only so much I can do. I'll eat well, I'll exercise, I'll sleep, I'll take care of myself, and it's going to change. So what I decided was, okay, what is something that, it felt very out of control for me. And you might be in a situation where you feel like, I don't know why I have more weight on my body. I'm doing everything. It's particularly frustrating if you're someone who's doing everything that you're supposed to do. You're eating well, you're exercising, you're sleeping, taking, and you're still not seeing the weight loss results that you want. That's intensely frustrating. So I think that what we can do is go, all right, there's only so much in our control. And this is, especially if you're like a perfectionist or a type A personality, oh my gosh, this is challenging because we really want to control everything about our body and our weight because we want to represent ourselves well. And I get it. And sometimes there are things that are just not in our control. And when it comes to recovering from a pregnancy, for me, it's just taken a long time. And I could attempt to go crazy. I was talking with my sister about this morning. I said, well, I really haven't had much of an option in terms of how I've been recovering from the pregnancy. She said, well, you could have gone psycho and like done some insane starvation something and some insane, workout something. And I was like, man, I don't have the energy to go psycho. I don't have the energy to go psycho. I couldn't do it if I tried. So what I'm going to do instead is look to the things that I can control, look to the things that are inspiring to me, look to the things that do make me feel beautiful. And I want to share those tips with you so that regardless of the amount of pounds or weight that you feel like you're carrying, you can still feel like you're more beautiful than ever, that you feel better now than you did 10 years ago. We talk about better than ever. That's really the idea of going, how can I feel like my body, my beauty, my life, everything about my life feels better than it's ever been. So today we want to talk about beauty. And the first thing that I did when I got pregnant was just try to find maternity clothes, maybe 3-4 months in, that I felt beautiful in. So regardless of whether you're pregnant or not pregnant, the most important thing that you can do, and this is a lot for women, but guys, if you're watching and you're with us, first of all, thank you. We love having you here. I bow to the masculine within you and say thank you for being here. But that if you're working with women, clients, or you have women in your life, just to know that, women for so many years, the number one criteria that they've been valued on and sort of have internally then we teach ourselves to value ourselves on is beauty. And if we are not beautiful in the traditional sense of the word, it's like devastating. So the wonderful thing about what's happening in the world of beauty and fashion right now is it's more inclusive than it's ever been. And we're seeing incredible images of women of all shapes and sizes, races, who are embracing themselves and their beauty. So how can we do this? Well, the first thing that I want to share and how I was able and am still able to kind of move through this whole pregnancy recovery period. And by the way, just so you know, my daughter's going to be 16 months in about a week or so, and I'm still in maternity clothes. I can't even, it would be amazing to put on a normal pair of pants, but that's not where I am. So I just want you all to be aware this isn't coming from a place of I dropped 20 pounds. I'm lucky if I'm in maternity clothes. I think for some of our live events, I've sometimes worn non-maternity dresses, but they don't turn out as well as the maternity dresses. But that brings me to my first point, which is when you are looking to grow into that better than ever body or better than ever beauty or version of yourself, is that it's really about 1% improvement a day. If we so many times we think in terms of black and white, all or nothing. I have to be, my perfect self. I have to eat perfectly. I have to exercise perfectly. Everything has to be perfect. And I think that thinking is detrimental. It's stressful. It holds us back. If we just change over to 1% improvement every day versus I have to move mountains today, and if I don't, I'm doomed. It's all going to fall apart, right? So 1% improvement, that's something to remember. The other thing to remember when you are in a place of getting healthy is that it is so important to only compare yourself to yourself versus others. So a coach once taught me that comparison is really useful when you are comparing yourself to where you were 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 4 months ago, 6 months ago. And the version of you now is grown so much from that version of you then. That's so much more useful. When you look at someone, and I can't tell, like, ladies, can we honestly, how many times have we looked at social media and seen somebody, God bless them, no judgment, who's had a baby and literally 2 weeks later it's like, they have no stomach. I don't even know how it's possible. But you see the pictures and you're like, and then in your mind you start to compare and go, well, okay, you know what? That does happen for some people, and that's like, that's not something that I should be putting myself up against and trying to measure up to, right? That's only going to cause me stress. So one of the things that I do in terms of like comparing myself to myself and going, all right, well, am I physically, mentally, emotionally in a better space than I was 30 days ago, 14 days ago, 10 days ago, a day ago? 1% improvement comparing to myself every day. The other thing is to look at images that really are close to what you are physically. Like when you go onto Instagram or when you go onto the computer even, to look up, there are so many stunningly beautiful models of all shapes and sizes who can inspire you. And I actually have been following one plus size model. Let's find a silly label, but anyway, you guys I'm sure know Ashley Graham, the first plus size model on Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue, and you look at her and the amount of body confidence and love that she has, you go, you know what, I can have that too. You don't have to be like, beauty and self-confidence and self-love is not tied to a clothing size. It's just not. So make sure that when you're looking at images, I don't read magazines anymore. God bless In Style magazine. I used to love it, but now it's kind of like they have one page, like, what is it? One page in In Style magazine of style at every size, and then every other page is like an anorexic 12-year-old. I mean, it's ridiculous. So make sure that the images that you're taking in are images that make you feel amazing about who you are. And also looking for ways to, that's another, like a simple way to look for a way to feel good about yourself instead of punishing yourself. I think for a long time, I noticed, at least for me and my generation, I'm 42 now, wow, 42, oh my gosh, where I grew up sort of looking at myself like, okay, here are the flaws, you have to fix that part of your butt and get rid of that cellulite, and if you fix this and fix that, always kind of, if you exercise enough, if you don't eat, if you can never have a carb, if you never have this, if you never have that, if you could just somehow punish your body into submission, that somehow that's going to work. When really you have to look for ways to feel good about what's there. You can't hate yourself into self-love. Wouldn't it be interesting if we could? And if we could, I bet a lot of us would really love ourselves. But you can't hate yourself into self-love. You actually have to start loving yourself as you are. And also looking for, I like to think about the difference between motivation and inspiration. Because yes, in a way you can say, I've got to be motivated toward my goal of looking better than ever or feeling better than ever. And I would say, yeah, that's true. But what's inspiring me to do that? It's almost like there's motivation, and then there's what's underneath that motivation. And what's underneath that motivation is your inspiration. And looking for that thing, like what is that thing that's lighting you up about becoming the healthiest version of you? What is it that's making you feel like that right now in your life is fulfilling and meaningful and connected to your purpose. Because that inspiration will carry you a whole lot farther than motivation. Motivation to me has it's not true for everybody, but for me it has a little bit of the hitting with something. Like, I'm gonna hit you with a stapler. You gotta stay motivated, get up, go to the gym. And there is a place for that. It's not like that's never useful. It's just that on the whole, I feel like inspiration really carries us so much further. And it's really just another way of loving ourselves and being excited getting to a goal versus like punishing ourselves into a goal. So let's talk about a couple other tips. So one of the things that I really embraced prior to being pregnant and has helped a lot since I've been pregnant, and that is something I learned from my stylist, whose name is Sybil Henry, Sybil Henry. She's phenomenal. You can find her on Facebook, you can find her on the web, you can find her on Instagram. Her website, I believe, is The Style Concierge, and she's wonderful. And what she taught me is that you always dress for your shape and not your size. So you can certainly look up Sybil, or you can just you can look up online different body shapes. There's the hourglass, the pear, the apple, the rectangle, whatever those are. And what Sybil taught me is that every body shape has its own unique zone of beauty. So there's a place for your body type, no matter what size you are. Your shape has different areas that are beautiful and can be enhanced and highlighted at any size. So for an hourglass, which I am, that would be like the shoulders, the waist. For an apple, that would probably be the legs. You probably have great legs. So discovering what is your body shape is a phenomenal way to start highlighting those zones of beauty. And by the way, Sybil has a book if you want to look up what would those zones of beauty be. And then the next piece is finding designers that really make clothes for your body shape. So if you're an hourglass and you walk into a typical department store, there's going to be a lot of things that won't fit you, because so many things are made for apple shapes. They're like a bigger top and maybe really cute skinny jeans for people who have great legs. Well, that's awesome. And that's not going to work for an hourglass. For an hourglass, you're going to put that on and go, I feel that. So no matter what, it's important to find, once you found the shape, to find designers and realize then that when you're shopping, lots of things are not going to fit you. And this is I have a crusade about shopping. I know exactly what kind of store I'd want to create. Because when we walk into stores nowadays, we're sort of set up to fail. It's a very frustrating experience because the things that are going to fit you are the things that fit your body shape. And not every trend or style does that. Okay. So once you find those designers, so for an hourglass, for example, and I'm not an apple or a rectangle or anything, so I don't know, but I can tell you if you're an hourglass, like Ralph Lauren is amazing. You'll find incredible clothes, beautiful dresses, everything that will fit you just gorgeously, no matter what your size or shape. The next tip I would give you, that again, this is dressing for shape and not size, is to get really great undergarments. Like, go to Nordstrom, get a fit person, or if you love Macy's or Bloomies or wherever, get a person, or if there's a boutique store in your town where you can be fitted for the right kind of bra and the right kind of shape, where it makes such a huge difference. And even if you have more pounds on than you like, don't be afraid to get yourself beautiful, beautiful lingerie. So one of the things that I mentioned to Ashley Graham earlier, she has a lovely lingerie line for a company called Edition L. Like, get gorgeous. I even went so far as not only to get beautiful lingerie, but to have a photo shoot done, a boudoir photo shoot, which was like, am I crazy? But I had that done at, 12, I think I was 9-10 months after having the baby. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna take this photo to celebrate what is now. And I got this gorgeous lingerie that fit. And it was a phenomenal experience. And actually some of those photos, I felt like I looked more beautiful than I'd ever seen myself, even when I was a size 6. Which I'm not normally. Like pre-pregnancy, I was probably size 8 or size 10. I'm not like a teeny person. I'm tall. I'm not larger, but I'm like, when you meet me, and if you will, by the way, you can come meet me at HCI Live. This is a live event that we do. The next one's coming up in May. It's in Miami from May 18th to the 20th. May 18th to the 20th, and you can go to hcilive.com/social, hcilive.com/social, and you can come to that live event, and you can meet me, and you can meet Stacy, my wonderful business partner and co-coach. And what's funny about Stacy and I is we're sort of like, she is maybe 5'1" or 2. I mean, she's a tiny person and very small boned. And then there's me. And actually, we're so different in our proportions that when we do video together, we have to like scoot me back and put her on like a booster seat. It's really hilarious. So definitely check out HCI Live. The thing that you'll notice when you come to the live event, and again, there's probably a link in the chat below, but you can go to hcilive.com/social to meet us in May in Miami. You can reserve a seat for that. And what you're going to notice is everything that I'm telling you here about how I dress or how I like choose how I'm going to present myself. No matter what weight I am, I don't know where I'll be in May. It would be lovely to be in like regular clothes, and I don't know if I will be. So you're gonna see me use all of these tips to put looks together that feel beautiful no matter what. No matter what. And I hope I get to see you there. We're also gonna be teaching at that event. It's not gonna be just about my clothes or anyone else's. We really teach you very specific tips and strategies about how to enroll clients at higher end price points than you may have thought possible. So no matter where you are in your coaching journey, you may be just starting out, you may be a couple years in, how do you create those high end programs that clients are actually end up like really asking you to pay for? And how do you find the people who pay for those high end programs? I'm sure you've seen coaches who offer programs for like $3,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 for like 90 days. Like, what are they doing? And Stacy and I want to show you what they're doing from a business point of view, like what are the specific how-tos, but also from a coaching skills perspective. Because if someone's paying you $5,000 for a 90-day coaching program, which let me tell you, when I started as a coach, seemed exorbitantly insane, like that would never happen in a million years. But I'll tell you, it does happen, especially for those of you who are going, there's no possible way that that's going to happen. You have a certain level of coaching skill that you're bringing to the table when you're charging those kinds of investment levels. So we want to talk to you about what are those kinds of coaching skills. We'll actually be doing live coaching skills labs at the event. And we're going to be just basically showing you, like, how is it that you become a high-end coach? How does one do that? And is this, like, do people do it? Is this a pipe dream? Which it is not. People do it. It's not just me. It's not just Stacy. There are plenty of people out in the world making a great living as coaches. And what is everything that goes into that? Plus, as we go through like business pieces and the coaching skills pieces, we have an enormous amount of fun. We have a crazy, amazing cocktail party on the first night. It's called Dress to Express. And you can... fabulous at the Dress to Express party. We have booze and dancing. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, you're going to meet an enormous amount of people who are just like you. There's an incredible